All right, so today's video is for those who are interested to go to Ireland. You want to move with your family. I'm going to tell you the details of what you need to do so that you can get those visa sponsorship, where you're going to get those legit websites where you're going to get those visa sponsorship, and all the information that is required of you. So stay tuned. Let's watch the video up to the end, and please subscribe to my channel. My name is Faiza, and this is my channel. Please stay tuned. All right, the reason why you will be able to move to Ireland is because currently Ireland is experiencing labor shortages, especially in the sector of IT, yes, technology sector, the area of construction, the area of healthcare, especially if you're a nurse, especially if you're a doctor, a caregiver. These are the areas that they need people and they have a labor shortage. What I mean is simple. The demand for these jobs is very high, but Ireland, as we speak, it has labor shortage. They do not have people who have such skills. So yes, so what they have done is they have looked outside to sort this issue. That's why they're looking for migrants who have these specific skills, so that now you'll be able to go to Ireland with a visa sponsorship job where you're going to do the work and you get paid, and at the same time you have a ticket to have that permanent residency. So here are the details that you're going to need, especially if you're very curious and you're interested on what exactly is required of you. So currently, as we speak, Ireland, over 75% of Irish employers report difficulties in filing vacancies, placing Ireland among the countries with the highest talent shortages in Europe. So, because the domestic population is small and highly specialized, the country relies on international workers to keep its economy moving. All right. So, why Ireland has labor shortages? Ireland labor shortages is very unique because it spans both the hyper technical it spans both both world, that is the hyper technical roles and also foundational public services. They have Ireland, it has European headquarters for global tech and pharma giant companies. So the local graduate pool is simply isn't large enough to match their hiring speed. So they have these multi international companies like Google, App, Meta, and also this Visa. These are pharmaceutical company. They're big. They hire thousands and thousands of people. But unfortunately, Ireland is a very small, tiny country. So the labor that is available is very little as compared to the demand of the jobs which are available. So that's the reason why they're looking outwards to get the solution. So also they have an aging population. There's increased demand for healthcare has outpaced the domestic supply of medical profession. That's the reason why they have so many people who are elderly and they require caregiving help. But the population of Ireland is very few. They cannot cater to that demand. That's the reason why they're looking for nurses, they're looking for doctors, and of course caregivers. So that's why the Irish government actively manages two main employment system under the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment. So they have critical skills occupation list. This is involve highly specialized roles facing severe global shortages, and at the same time they have ineligible list of occupations. These are roles that cannot receive work visa because the local labor pool is deemed insufficient, mostly entry-level administrative or retail roles. Also, they have the two main workshop visa. That is visa sponsorship jobs. Yeah, so they have migrate to migrate into Ireland as a non-EU citizen. You must secure a job offer from an employer registered in Ireland. The employer or the employee applies for one of two core work permits the employment through the employ through the employment. So the employer applies for the one of the or two core work permits through the employment permits online system. So this critical skills employment permit, it involves the following. This is Ireland Premier Fast Track Visa. It highly targets qualified professionals. So the rules are as follows. You must have a job offer for a role on the critical skills list with a minimum salary of 40,904 pound per year, requiring a relevant degree, or a salary of at least 68,911 euros per year in any role not on the ineligible list. The advantage is employers do not have to pass a labor market needs test, meaning they don't have to prove they couldn't find local worker before hiring. That's the advantage of you moving to Ireland, because the employer usually just go online and they post for these opportunities. Also, you get family benefits. Your spouse or partner can move with you immediately and receive an automatic right to work under the stamp 1G without needing their own separate work permit. So the general employment permit, it involved the following. These cover as much broader range occupation that aren't on the critical skills list but are still facing shortages. The rules are as follow. The standard minimum salary threshold is 36,000 €605 per year, though specific quotas exist for healthcare assistants and agri-food workers. Around, you're going to be paid around 32,000 601,000 euros per year. What is the catch? The job must pass a labor market needs test. The employer must advertise the position in Ireland and the EU for 28 days before they can offer it to an international worker. Okay? Those are the requirements. Family restrictions. Family reunification is generally only possible after you have been working in Ireland for 12 months. Okay? All this information I'm giving you free of charge. So please, guys, subscribe to my channel. If you find this information useful, this channel is gonna be there holding your hand. Important global rules. The 50-50 rule. Ireland requires that at least 50% of an employer's workforce to be EU citizen or EU or UK citizen. A work permit will be denied if a company hires too many non-EU workers, though the government provides temporary flexibility for severe shortages in nursing homes and disability care. How to find sponsorship and migrate. The process must be complete in a specific sequence. Coming to Ireland on a tourist visa to look for work is illegal and will result in your work permit application being rejected. Okay, guys? You cannot go to Ireland with a tourist visa because they are going to reject you. All right. So basically, what you need to do the right way is as follows: secure a sponsored job offer. That is the step one. Apply to Irish employer or recruitment agency. Ensure the role meets the 2026 salary threshold. That is, you're going to be paid around 40,904 euros for critical skills and 36,605 euros for general skills, and isn't on the ineligible occupation list, then you're going to receive a formal contract once you pass the interview. Apply for the employment permit. That is step two. Once you've gotten your contract, yes, you've gone through the interview, the employer is happy, they've given you a formal contract, say, hey, we have hired you. Then you're going to apply for the employment permit. Either you or your employer submit the application via the official EPOS portal. The government fee is around 1,000 euros for a 2-year permit. Then you're going to wait for approval before moving. Step three, apply for an entry visa. This if applicable, okay? Depending on your nationality, example, citizen of India, Pakistan, Nigeria, etc., you may need a long stay, a D visa to physically enter Ireland. Safe nationalities are US, Canada, Australia. They skip this step and go straight to migration at the airport. All right, step 4, register with immigration. That is IRP. That is the step 4. Within 90 days of arriving in Ireland, book an appointment with the Irish Immigration Service to get your Irish residence permit card. You will initially be granted a stamp 1 permission to work. What is the pathway to citizenship? Because most people usually ask that question because they're interested to go that direction. So Ireland uses a stamp system to track residency. Once you accumulate enough reckonable residency, you can transition to permanent status and eventually citizenship. The pathway depends heavily on which permit you arrive on. So for the critical skills route, that is the doctors, nurses, those are high skills, IT sector. You are year 1 and year 2. You hold a stamp 1 and work exclusively for your approved employer. Note, under 2024 update, you must stay with your first employer for at least 9 months before you are legally allowed to switch companies within your same occupational type. Year 2. After 21 months of compliance, you automatically graduate to a stamp 4. This gives you permanent residency and total labor market freedom. You can work for any company, stamp a business, or change careers without needing a work permit. Year 5. Once you reach year 5, that's 60 months of total legal residence in Ireland, you are eligible to apply for an Irish citizenship by naturalization. So the general employment route, that is the standard track that most people use, is the year 1 to year 5, you hold a stamp 1 and must renew your general employment permit every 2 years. You must maintain continuous employment under permit restrictions for the full duration. End of year 5, after 5 years working on a GEP, you become eligible to apply for stamp for independent residency status. Year 5, because you have achieved your year 5 or recognizable residency, you can simultaneously apply for citizenship by naturalization. So Irish citizenship grants you an Irish passport, which offers full and restricted rights to live, work, and study anywhere across European Union and the United Kingdom. So guys, I've given you all this information free of charge. So guys, I'm going to show you 5 websites where you're going to get these visa sponsorship jobs under Ireland. Okay, so stay tuned, watch this video up to the end. All right, so we're having this is called visa sponsorship job. I've gone to the search bar here on top and I've written visa sponsor job under Ireland, and these are find visa sponsorship jobs in Ireland. So these are the jobs which you can see here. Classification, there is a search bar for any classification, enter keyword, then you search. So what I'm interested is literally Ireland jobs. So basically they have come here, jobs in Ireland. These are visa sponsorship jobs. They have already filtered them. This is a legit website, so please don't miss out. So they have jobs, over thousands and thousands of jobs. So this is of 30 jobs so far, under engineering and the critical skills, engineering critical skills. When I talk about critical skills, that is under the big pathway where it's highly skills. That's what they're targeting, because they don't have what is it? They have labor shortages. This is under the critical skills route. That is the fast track, where you're going to be given a 5-year visa sponsorship job. So basically, I've given you in the previous video, I've already explained to you what the requirements is. The year 1 and year 2, you're supposed to work with the same employer who gave you the visa sponsorship. Then after year 2, then now you can, if you want to change job, you're allowed to, but within the first period of 1 to 2 years, please don't change your employer, because if you do, that means you have literally go against your visa requirements and they might deport you back. So this is a visa sponsorship job. As you can see, all these jobs are under the critical skill route, where they fast track it. If you get an interview, you get at the job, then they're going to fast track your visa immediately. Yeah, because it falls under critical skills sector, where they need technical people, but they have labor shortage in this area. So yes, we have mixed signal design verification engineering, Ireland business consulting, master's studentship, PhD studentship, clinical microbiology, and many others. So guys, this is a place where you can get this opportunity, so don't miss out on this opportunity. All right, stay tuned. Let's proceed to the next website, where I'm going to show you this one has said access denied. Okay, let's proceed to this other one. All right, this is LinkedIn. All right, Indeed.com and Ireland visa sponsorship. It's here. They have jobs over here. New visa sponsorship job, also an unskilled job. They're here. So we have senior recruiter, HR business partner, program project manager, fund accountant, UK technology consulting, and many others. So these are jobs over there, over hundreds and hundreds of jobs over there. So your work is just to go on this platform, check the jobs which are there, the skills that you have, the type of job you can apply, then apply. Make sure your CV is tailor-made. Yes, it's tailor-made according to the Ireland standard. Yeah, do not apply for a job with your home country CV standard. No, Ireland, they have their own CV standard, or under the Ireland or whatever. So use that template. Go on Google, you get those templates and copy that. Then optimize your profile on LinkedIn, so that when the employer wants to hire you, when they check you on LinkedIn and see what exactly who you are, then they find all this information. Then of course they know you are the right person, and they'll set up the interview and want to hire you immediately. So yes, do that, so that you start your journey to Ireland immediately. Remember, they're going to fast track your visa, especially if you fall under the critical skills sector, where they're looking for laborers who have the skills they're looking for, because right now in Ireland they're experiencing labor shortage. So let's proceed to the next website, where you're going to get these visa sponsorship jobs. Stay tuned. All right, this is another website where you're going to get those visa sponsorship jobs. It's called Ireland is another website. All right, so on the journey to with Irish business, where you are your journey. So all this information is basically to get you started and have an idea exactly what you're going to move when you want to move to Ireland. Yeah. All right, so this is for businesses, and of course, they have jobs for people, and they're going to literally connect you and refer you to the right people. So you can check out this website. I don't want to go into details because I don't want this video to be too long, but I'm giving you websites where you're going to get this all this information free of charge. Okay, stay tuned. Let's proceed to another website. All right, the other website is called in linkedin.com, but now we are literally going on linkedin.com and we are searching for visa sponsorship in Ireland. So they have over hundreds of jobs over here under Ireland, and these are the jobs which you can find here. So you need to check the jobs that you're applying for, and then of course during an the interview you need to ask that question where they're going to, is it visa sponsorship or not. They'll tell you all this information, and if it's not visa sponsorship they will tell you in the job description, so be checking for all that information. But yes, in terms of getting a job on LinkedIn, you will get it, and these are the platform where you're going to get all these legit platforms. So guys, stay tuned. Also do your own research. Go ahead and do your research before you apply for this opportunity, so that you end up getting the right opportunity. And then the other thing you need to understand, once you get the opportunity to move to Ireland, make sure you follow the rules of the law. Okay, this is the platform, and I hope it has really helped you. So guys, stay tuned. Kindly subscribe to my channel. Let's proceed to the next topic. Okay, guys, so I've shown you everything, what you need to know, the do's and the don'ts. So I've given you the pathway route, the legit websites where you're going to get these Ireland jobs. And of course, I've told you what you need to do for the critical skill pathway route to move to Ireland. At the same time, I've given you the other route where there's the critical skill route that is for people who are nurses, doctors, pharmacists, those are high demand technical sector. Yes, and then of course I've given you the rules, when you year one and year two, what you need to do, year two, what you need to do, year five, what you need to do. So check my videos, you'll hear all this information I've given you. And then of course the general employment route, this is the standard track, for year one, year five, what you need to do, and then end of the year five, exactly what you can do so that you can transition to become a permanent resident in Ireland. So guys, when you get this opportunity, make sure you follow the rules of the land, follow the rules of the law, so that you're able to settle down peacefully with your family. You put down your roots, you start making investments and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Because the reason why people are going to Ireland is because you want greener pasture for the betterment of your family. You're looking for better education, infrastructure, peaceful mind, and of course, better opportunities for you, your family, your loved ones, and of course, future generations. So stay tuned. Kindly subscribe to my channel. My name is Faiza Nyashika, and this is my channel. Thank you so much. If you have any question whatsoever, please, my comment section is open. I know some people have left me some information. They said they want to get hold of me. So I'm going to open a community channel, and we'll be talking much more there. So stay tuned. Hopefully by next week I'll be doing that, because I always when I open the community, I want to have all the information where you guys can engage and get all this information like a PDF. And then if you want consultation, of course, I'll come up with a plan where you can get hold of me. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Welcome.